At the beginning of the week, it was just another Passover, just like the ones they had celebrated the years before. Except Jesus rode in like a king rather than just another participant. Wednesday came, and Judas had had enough, deciding to push Jesus' hand and turn him over to the Jewish leaders who wanted him dead. Thursday came, and Jesus ate the Passover meal with his disciples, then celebrated the first communion with them. Then they sang songs and hymns. Then he took them out to a place to pray. The disciples dozed off like it was just another night of prayer. After all, they'd prepped the upper room, made the food, cleaned up after celebrating the Passover, took a walk, and it was now getting dark and time for bed. Instead, Jesus brought them out to pray. Then Judas showed up with soldiers. That woke the disciples up. These disciples took Jesus away on Thursday evening to stand trial before the Jews for blasphemy, or calling himself God in this case. This Jesus, who helped create the world we live in, who helped the Jews escape from Egypt, who helped provide water, manna, and quail in the desert, who helped crumble the walls of Jericho with a song and a shout, who helped send prophets to the Jewish people to guide them through life. This Jesus was now on trial for calling himself God, which he is. Before the people, he came to save the Jews. During the festival he helped create, when death passed over them in Egypt thousands of years before. The crowds are now gathered late Thursday night and follow this Jesus as he is questioned by the Jewish leaders, then by Pilate, the Roman governor, then by Herod, another Roman official, then tossed back to Pilate. By now it's morning, the back and forth having gone on all night. Pilate is tired, angry, and questions Jesus one more time. The crowd is so worked up that it doesn't matter what Pilate thinks. He finally gives in, has Jesus flogged, 39 lashes or whippings with bone and metal on the tip of the many-stranded whip. But the crowd was still not satisfied, so Pilate agreed to have Jesus crucified. After all, what's one more criminal in a day when hanging people on a cross was a normal occurrence? Bloody, beaten, and mocked, Jesus carried his cross, the instrument of his death, by being paraded through the town to the hill where the cross would be set up, with him on it. Fighting for every breath, he would last the day and die. He would die by choice, giving up his spirit, and he would do it before sunset. At that point, God made it known who was just killed. The earth shook, thunder rolled, and the temple curtain tore. At this point, the sacrifice had been made. The final, perfect lamb died for our sins. Never again would a sacrifice of a person or animal need to be made in order for us to be forgiven by God. Forgiveness is now there for the asking. 24 hours ago, Jesus was eating, singing, and celebrating with his disciples. Now, he's dead. But Sunday's coming. Jesus died, but he didn't stay dead. He died for you. He died for me. He died for everyone who has died before us. He died for everyone who is not yet born. But he rose as well. He conquered death to show that he is who he says he was, the Son of God. It's Friday evening, and the disciples are lost, their leader having just been ripped out of their lives. But Sunday's coming, and I will talk to you more again.